G'day YouTubers, Steve from Vintage Restorations Australia here. In today's episode we have a look at the springs and the restoration of them, removal and refitting of the bushes, and we also start work on the diffs. Just when we thought we were done with the chassis, I remembered I've got to fill these in, and I cut them out. So this morning we'll just cut a couple of bits of those, and we neglected to weld the bottom of that. So just a couple of quick welding jobs, and then another lick of paint on the underside, and we are done. I promise there'll be no more chassis work, or at least no more video. We're not going to show you if we do any. Oh, what's happened here?
It's got my wheel in a hole, mate. Who put a hole there?
Bloody wombat.
Bloody wombat.
Look at that. Wombat's dug a nice big tunnel.
A Jordan trap.
Last workshop day, Jordan managed to lock his keys in the car.
Back her up.
The words arse clown come to mind. So that is officially finished now.
I'm always keen on doing triangles.
Welded in on the underside, and we've replaced those end caps, welded some new ones in. It's a bit hard to see there, but they're the last two little jobs, and just given the bottom side another coat of paint, the epoxy enamel. So we are officially done with the chassis. We've moved on to the springs now. As I said, we're going to start putting things back on. We've got quite a few sets because we've destroyed two cars. These ones look pretty good, but these ones don't. They're a bit flogged and stretched, so I'm going to cut another front spring off the spare set that we've got outside. And we could fix that, but I don't really have to. So we'll cut one of these off and make use of the better of these two. The rusty old bolts and things, I'll use the universal bolt remover. Here's the before and after with the springs. I've basically just spent a bit of time on the grinder, I mean the tool, not the social media app, and cleaned this up and remove. That's essentially surface corrosion and stuff. The surface is pretty good there. We'll give that a bit of a solvent clean and then apply tannic acid to it, because we love our tannic acid. We'll get to that in a minute when we finish cleaning the rest of these up. 3 more to go. So we've got 2 sets of rear springs to choose from, so we'll just pick the best set, pull them off and make use of those. So I'll cut these 2 rear springs off and we'll give them the same treatment, a bit of a clean up. So a couple of hours later, they're all clean, but I'm not.
Is there any other way to do it other than grinding it off?
Yeah, you could probably look at a citric acid bath or something, or an acid bath. I think it is something we'll consider for some of the other bits. Citric acid would be good because it would get in between and dissolve the corrosion there. You still got to get tenate and stuff in there after and get the citric out. Yeah, but we might look at that
Be a lot less
next
grotty.
week. Yeah. Oh, this does a nice job, you know.
It's good.
And get you back to a good surface that you can then put tannic acid on. With the caravans and stuff that we do, we separate all of these, but these are riveted in and it's a bit more complicated to open them all up. If you're going to do a real fancy resto, you'd probably split these down and do each individual leaf, rebuild them all, but these are in reasonable condition. They're serviceable, you know, so we'll just do the bushes now, get these out, get them tannated and put them in.
What you got there, John? All the bolts and bits you want to go with. Oh, an extra bit.
It's like one of those unboxing videos on YouTube.
suspension, bushes, bolts. Nice.
Nice. You can see there the old one's pretty munted, that bush, so we'll get that out, replace it with nice new one, which is always a fun job to do.
Right, the bottom one's right. Hands free. It's going. I hope that socket's small enough that it comes out. Put it up there, see how we're going for height there.
Pardon.
They've located it
Boom.
instead of the
Out.
socket in the top.
Next. And that's how you get bushes out.
Yeah.
20 tons of pressure is a lot of pressure, so it just punches them out basically. Pretty easy.
Yeah.
This is one of the bushes that had destroyed itself, so all that was left was the remnants of this outer casing. You can see there how it's scraped all the way out. There's 20 tons of pressure with that jack, so it just blows it out. If you're trying to do that with just a vise or with a bolt through the guts, it's going to be hard work. But anyway, managed to get that out pretty easily. Give this all a good clean with methylated spirits. It just kind of degreases it. If there's any left, it acts as a wetting agent for the tannic acid. So start it off in the vise and finish it in the press.
It won't blur it out at the top, will it? Not if it pushes nice and evenly. Yeah, it's going in.
This one's almost gone in completely just on the vise, so enough grease and good clean. They go in pretty easy. Do you think these glasses make me look like Bono out of U2?
No.
Time for a bit of tannic acid. More rusty goodness to clean up. I won't video too much of that because I'm sure you're bored with it already like I am. Eats a lot of time. It's got to be done. Gotta love a bit of a bush repair. DIFF housing, ready for a bit of a clean up, and then we can think about rebuilding it. So there's all those parts that we ground down and cleaned. So these have all been treated with tannic acid. Basically it's ready for painting, so you still need a coat of paint over that tannic, ideally. Pretty nice surface, the finished tannate, once it's all cleaned and put on. But we're going to set up a bit of a spray booth and we'll get some paint on these and these parts. It's a fair bit of work to do all that, so we're thinking next week we're going to set up, well, two things: a citric acid bath, so we just eat the corrosion off them, But we'll also set up an electrolysis bath and use some electrolysis for cleaning some of the other bits of the steering and things that we've got to get back to this state. We could have put these on today, but we've just run out of time. Took a fair while to clean all that stuff up. We also buggered up on the ordering of the bushes. We were a couple short, so we've put in an order for those. They should be here next Wednesday, ready to go in. So I guess the next episode will be finishing off the bushes in these and fitting it to the chassis. So that pretty much wraps it up for this episode. As I mentioned, in next episode we'll be looking at the citric acid bath and the electrolysis or the electrolytic reduction bath to see if we can expedite treatment of corrosion and those rusty bits and pieces that we have and save ourselves a little bit of time on the grinder there. We'll definitely be flipping the chassis and bringing it back into the workshop, putting the bump stops on the bottom and then fitting those springs. And then the next sort of major thing is to continue with those diffs. We've got the 4 diffs, 2 front, 2 back. We hope to get those all stripped down, pick the best of the parts and then combine them to make hopefully a good front and rear diff and get that on. And then we're getting pretty close to having a rolling chassis again, but that may be 1 or 2 episodes away. So that's kind of it. Hope to see you for the next episode. Till then, take care of yourselves and we'll see you then.